The best time to rent a property on the Sunshine Coast since 2020, and has the Sunshine Coast Council failed investors who have decided to rent their properties as holiday investments by significantly increasing rates. We'll get to it all. G'day guys, it's Yanni here, Director and Auctioneer at Yanni Mooney Property. Welcome to another live real estate market update for the 28th of August. Massive things going on in our property market at the moment. But is it now the best time to be a tenant, to look for a property to rent on the Sunshine Coast in the last few years? I think there's some data to back that. If we go back to February this year, there was roughly 300 properties on the rental market on the whole of the Sunshine Coast. In March, there was about 400 properties to rent. Today, sits over 1,100 properties to rent on the whole of the Sunshine Coast. So that's really nearly quadrupling since February, 4xing there, significant increases. And we're seeing days on market for rental properties double, sometimes tripling as well, less applications per rental properties. But in all of that, in more properties to rent, in longer days on market, does that mean that rental prices are coming down? Well, there's no data to back that. There's no data to back that a property was for rent for $600 a week is now for $500 or $450. Nothing of its kind. I think rental prices are actually holding, but that may mean that we might not see the increases or the fast increases in the rental market for the next year or two. I think that may be the biggest thing. So today, about 1,100 properties, or over 1,100. Back in February, there was around 300 properties on the Sunshine Coast to rent. So it is a good time to be a tenant. What is contributing to that is Sunshine Coast Council have decided that if you holiday let your house, your unit, whatever it may be, that they have significantly increased the rates that you pay every 6 months by a long way. In some cases 30, 40, 50%, and even more I'm hearing as well. Yes, that can be offset by higher holiday income as well, or higher amount per night, but we are seeing a bit of a trend there. I reckon I've spoken to maybe 50 plus owners in the Caloundra area in the last 4 to 5 weeks who had a holiday unit who have now put it in the permanent rental market. It's quite interesting. So some investors are going, you know what, would rather a set weekly rent, would rather not have the cutlery or whatever it may be broken, and just get some consistency in there. I think for some properties you still see a fairly decent yield or bigger yield if you look at a 12-month basis to holiday let, but some owners have decided, you know what, we'll put our holiday unit in the permanent rental market. I think that's why we're seeing bigger numbers. We also know the winter time, generally speaking, for both permanent rental properties but also holiday rent, it slows down a little bit. So will that be the same case in spring and summer? We will wait and see, but it will be interesting to see. Now, as we see more rental properties come onto the market, I think it will be a telling time over the next 3 to 6 months to see what it looks like, how many properties are on the market for rent in, say, come December this year. Now, has Sunshine Coast Council achieved what they've wanted to achieve? Well, they have. There are more rental properties on the market, but rents aren't coming down, so it may not necessarily achieve what they're wanting. I'm really wanting to hear everyone's feedback on this issue, on this topic of, do you think it is a good thing that there are less holiday units to rent on the Sunshine Coast? Do you think it's a good thing that there's more rental properties despite rents not coming down really? My opinion, well, I think Sunshine Coast is a holiday area. I think it's a good thing for more holiday units to be on the market, and houses as well, for more people to holiday in our area. So I think that potentially it's not such a great thing that you know what, Sunshine Coast Council said, you, the holiday investor, we're going to punish you a bit more, even with everything else going up, electricity, all other costs that it takes to rent permanently and holiday let. This is just another thing. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Is it a good thing that there are more permanent rental properties on the market, less holiday rentals on the market. We will wait and see. So in the past little while, we have sold 3 properties in the last 7 days. We start with 7 of 32A King Street in Kings Beach. This property sold for $840,000, a new complex record. A very big congratulations to my clients, Aaron and Rochelle. Absolute pleasure working with you. 1 of 5 Mahia Terrace has also gone under offer in the last week. Big congratulations to buyers and sellers there. And also 1 of 47 Esplanade Golden Beach is now under offer. Very quick days on market there. That property has now sold. What we're seeing over 4551 in the last 7 days, well, there was 17 reported residential sales in the last week. 5 properties sold over $1 million. 12 properties sold under $1 million. 29 properties came onto the market in the last week. Still fairly healthy numbers. None of this 35, 40, 45. It's been pretty consistent in the 20s, the late 20s, the early 30s as for properties coming onto the market in recent weeks. And Queensland auction clearance rates, fairly healthy clearance rate of 52%. Now that's over 266 results. So good volume, good clearance rate, and over 1,095 properties sold in our Sunshine State in the last week. So if you want to comment on this video, what are your thoughts? Do you think it's a good thing that holiday rates, rates in general for properties that are holiday let have gone up? This is causing less holiday units and houses on the market, more rental properties. However, we're not seeing big decreases or really much decrease at all in the weekly rental amount that landlords charge and tenants pay. Be interesting to hear your thoughts. We will see how we progress in our active months of real estate in spring and summer. We'll see if this is still a topic in 3 months' time, but leave your comments below. Until next week at 6 p.m, have a cracking week. We'll see you all then.